But I always was motivated by doing something new and completing something, having a goal. Because usually I had a mind of my own. I tend to think for myself, a little impatient with others who don't think the way I do.
Whether it's navigating jet airliners, providing directions to a new restaurant, or geotagging your social media pictures, few imagine the impact GPS would have on modern society, including 88-year-old Gladys West.
I never would have thought that I could sit in a car and, it says, turn left, turn right. No.
For 42 years, Gladys was employed by the U.S. Navy. As a mathematician, she would help lay the groundwork for many of the government's orbital satellite projects. That includes what became the Global Positioning System, or what we call GPS.
Well, I didn't really know that it was going to be GPS. No, I didn't know that. But the work was exciting because I always went for goals and solving and getting things accomplished.
Born in 1930, Gladys grew up on her family's farm just south of Richmond, Virginia, where she learned the value of hard work. And that would pay off for Gladys, who wanted more than what life on a country farm could offer.
I grew up in Sutherland, Virginia, located in Dinwiddie County, and we lived on a small farm. And I had 3 siblings, and both parents were there. We had to walk to school. We spent a lot of time maintaining the farm. I did not like being out in the sun and working from sunrise to sunset and all that. So I made good grades in all of my subjects. So it's time to go to college. Well, since you're doing well in all subjects, you can major in math. And we know that you'll be successful. So when I went to college, I majored in math. You could get a scholarship if you were the first or second in your high school graduating class. So right off, I was Johnny on the spot, doing all my work all the time. But the teachers suggested that I do math. Since I did well in all my subjects, it wouldn't be too much of a challenge for me to do math. I would have better job opportunities, maybe a higher paying job too. I sort of took their words and started, getting interested in math. And so I really did like geometry. I fell in love with that.
She finished at the top of her high school class, earning her a full scholarship to what was then called Virginia State College, a historically black school in Petersburg, Virginia.
The teachers were encouraging me to major in math because they thought that I would be good.
Again, Gladys finished at the top of her class and went on to complete her master's. In 1956, she accepted a job at the Naval Support Facility in Dahlgren, Virginia.
Graduated after 4 years. I had applied for jobs in the government. I got hired in Dahlgren in 1956. I came by myself. My husband wasn't with me or anything. I was by myself. I would at least put it this way, I didn't know him at that time.
It was this tenacity and dedication that drew the attention of fellow mathematician Ira West.
Now, you met Ira, your husband. Tell me what that was like.
I always leave that story to him, him to tell.
I met her at a lunch break, and when I first saw her, and I knew that was something for me, but she didn't know that was something for her in looking at me. So I can remember the clothing that she had on. She had a pleated blue skirt and a white blouse. So I had my eyes on her for almost from the first day that I saw her. So
the two dated for 18 months before getting married in 1957.
She wasn't an easy catch, Let me tell you, I had to work hard for that.
I always think of Ira And I always tell me, I said, he played more than I did.
In the years that followed, they both continued their work for the Navy on numerous projects.
At the same time that we were coming to work here, they were also bringing in a large computer. And they hired these mathematicians to learn to work this computer. We hadn't had any computer teaching or knowledge, so we had to master this job that they want us to do. So we had to learn how to program and code for this big computer.
The space race was just taking off, and computers were the wave of the future.
It was really an excitement, you know. They promised us that they would teach us, you know, how to communicate with this computer and all this stuff, you know. So, knowing me, I was ready to, to work hard with it.
And work hard she did. With the success of the space program, NASA was beginning to place satellites into orbit. Gladys was tasked to help write and program code needed to process the enormous amount of data coming in.
The big computers were coming in. They wanted us to do the software, programming and coding for scientific programs. And then I had this humongous thing that I had to work with. And so that part was challenging and exciting at the same time.
The work was long and tedious. Every equation checked and rechecked for accuracy.
You didn't want to cause anybody else any holdups or any trouble about something that you had done that prevented them from making progress. So you want to have to make sure that they could depend on anything that you sent.
You were one of only 4 Black employees.
We were just beginning to integrate to the workplace. So everything went smoothly, and we were very professional, doing our thing. So we lived in a dormitory, and we got friendly. So we could do things like, you know, meet people in the kitchen while we were getting ready for our dinners and stuff like that. So, you know, it was fairly compatible. But there was some of the uneasiness. You could tell that we are not as comfortable with you know, the ladies around us as you were with your friends. You didn't open up completely to it.
Now, when the movie Hidden Figures came out with Margot Shetterly, did she reach out to you to do research for her book or her movie?
No, she did not. It would have been nice if she had it, yes, but we didn't even realize that we had this group of people that was that close to us doing similar kind of work that we were doing. I did meet her when she gave a speech down in the museum in Richmond on her book. She and I sat on the platform and did a question and answer period.
And what did you think of the movie?
It was great, but it's, you know, had a lot of little sad parts, but I guess I always remember walking to the bathroom so far.
Meanwhile, the civil rights movement was sweeping the country. Gladys and Ira wanted to show their support, but government employees weren't allowed to participate in public demonstrations. So the couple decided the best way to help was to change perceptions and work even harder.
We just were pushing. We couldn't participate directly, but indirectly in the situation.
That was another reason why I felt that I always had to be my best, and I always had to be a role model. When you grew up as a little black girl, our school was separated from the white schools. And we had separate buses. And many times we would get the old hand-me-down things from the white school, books that weren't new like their books were. But all of that helped to make us, I think, work harder because, you know, you were behind the 8 ball to start with, you know, so you had to work harder.
It makes me feel good when I look at the protesters now. Once upon a time, the protests were all black, but we got a mix now. You look at protesters now, so other people are getting the message, you know, about the social injustices. So that makes me feel good also.
When you know that the odds are against you and you can't get what you want. So either maybe you can give up and cause a whole lot of the stress on yourself, or you can take what you have and make the best of it. Do your best, work hard, all the kind of things that make you feel proud and be a real good person, and just work hard. I think I was most happy when I got to the point that I could be independent and I could troubleshoot big programs and be a help to the analysts who had helped to generate the program. When I could talk to them, it's sort of like be a part and understand. I think that was the best feeling I had.